Hi everyone, and welcome along to Weekly Sunday Market Update. It's great to have your company today. My name is Paul Bottrell. I'm the founder of Actions to Wealth, and sorry guys, just checking on some settings here. I can get rid of that now. Hey everybody, welcome along. My name is Paul Bottrell. Welcome to your Sunday Market Analyst Show. My name is Paul Bottrell. I'm the founder of Actions to Wealth Online Trading Profits and the West Finance Charity Coin. With me today will be the Actions to Wealth team coming in and having a look at this market. You know, Julian, for mine, it's still an awkward market, isn't it? It's just not quite doing the sort of stuff we'd really like it to be doing. More pretty, I'm going to say bizarre. You know, using the crypto space on Friday with the Chinese government calling all crypto transactions illegal. That is going to cause some rocking around. Interesting to see Bitcoin today. There's a live chart on Fusion now. Does do crypto 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Interesting to see crypto having, you know, last time I had a look, which was only a few hours ago, she was a long way down. She has bounced the heck out of it in the last period of time. I wonder if there's a bit more good news coming in from somewhere. But mate, just a market where for want of a better expression, things just aren't where we want it to be. It's just not quite. It's just not quite clean in the way we would love it to be as traders.
No, you're right, Paul. It isn't. And look, I think that's sort of much the pattern everywhere at the moment in quite a few of the markets. Nothing is sort of happening the way you want it to happen. I think some of this is because people aren't sure, and I can understand that. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's still unfolding in different countries in different ways. You know, some people are angry, some people are sad, a few people are happy, but not a huge amount. You can tell from the way that the protests and everything else is working that right now there's a bit of a mood of pessimism around the place, and which is ridiculous because the stock market is trading at an all-time high. There's no reason whatsoever for any pessimism in the financial sense. You know, the market, exactly. Guys, look at this rally. Right, there isn't a market, there isn't a place where you can go to on this chart where you can say that anything other than wow. Right, it's just every time the market rallies, it comes back a little and then goes up again and hits a new high. So where are the bulls wrong? So where are the bulls wrong? This is, we're looking at a chart of the NASDAQ here, or if you look at a chart of the S&P, just hold on one second. Oh God, excuse me. So I've been outside too much today.
While you recover, you right there, buddy? Still alive?
Yes, I apologise. I wasn't using the correct methodology. I do apologise, everybody. I will put a mask on. The balance of the
COVID test in the morning, buddy.
Exactly. Yes, PCR test beckons now. So look. Here's the thing, right? The market has the NASDAQ, the S&P. If you look at underlying some of the stocks in the US stock market at the moment, some sectors are trading terribly, right? Interestingly, the big inflation trade, the big reflation, the big growth story trades are all trading really horribly. So all the real companies, okay? The tech companies, different situation altogether. They've been rallying like crazy. So we sort of still got this interplay between the tech market and the real economy and how it keeps swapping backwards and forwards, maybe depending on some of the news. Anyway, here we are looking at the technical picture on the NASDAQ. What's really interesting is that we're on our way for a test to top. So we either make it all the way back up and have a double top and then maybe think about what's going to happen next, or we don't make it that far. So you're on full alert no matter what happens. Where is there a problem? There is clearly a problem if we take out that low at 14,850 or wherever that level is on the NASDAQ, that last intermediate low that we put in place last week. Exactly. Thank you, Paul. 813. There we go. Guys, if we take that out, that is something that hasn't occurred for a very long period of time. Go back on the chart, look it up and find somewhere where it's happened. Maybe in January and February, there was a bit of a moment where it took out some of the previous highs. Okay, and there was still follow through even then before it then finally recovered and came back. There's quite a bit of volatility. That I think was also reflecting that major sell-off in the bond market as well too. Is there a major sell-off in the bond market happening at the moment? Well, Friday wasn't a good day for bonds, but overall no big sell-off. Okay, so the thing is, oh, and by the way, we're also another 20% higher since then, or 15% higher. So here's the thing for me, right? And it's the same in the NASDAQ. It's the same in the S&P. And it's the same to some extent in Ethereum and Bitcoin as well too. I think they're rolling over. Okay, but in the I think they're rolling over camp, I need to have it proved to me. I need to somebody, come to the market with a 2x4, so a piece of wood, knock it on the head and go, no, now you're in a different market state. Because right now, all it looks like is a small correction in a bull market trend. I have different views on, and my broadcast group has had some stock market trades on. The latest one didn't work out too well, but the previous one, I believe, is still running at the moment. And I still maintain a neutral to negative stance on this market. Now, there's a couple of other reasons why I want to do that. Is because when you look at cycles, you look at the time, the seasonality. You also look at how far this market's come for the year. You also look at some of the other fundamentals. The economic fundamentals are really rubbish at the moment. That Citibank Global Surprise Index is moved into negative territory, and the US Citibank Global Surprise Index has been in negative territory for some weeks now. That to me is a big red flag. And so I think you need to be a little bit more cautious about the stock market simply because of that. And it's also come a long way for the year, for the month, for the quarter. For the last 4 years, no matter what number measure you use, the stock market's extraordinarily expensive. So a setback would not be unreasonable. In fact, I think it might even be quite healthy. So we'll see. And that attitude folds out to, or it expands out to not just the US stock markets, but also some of the other ones too. And at the same time, that seems to be generating at the moment in the markets a US dollar bull trade as well too. And that US dollar bull, if we can look at something like the dollar Sing, Paul, if you happen to have that there, the dollar Sing's a good example of that, about how that's trading quite well compared to where it was a few weeks ago. Thank you. And if you look at that chart pattern, that appears, you remember that sentiment cycle thing we were looking at? You can immediately see the higher low formation we put in at the late on in May, and ever since then it's been trading quite constructively. Now, that not to say again, we don't know what's going to happen next, but that to me looks like a chart that wants to try and go higher somehow. Okay, so yeah, up to about possibly the 138, the 140 area, something. If you go expand out a little bit more, there's more potential room there. So that is a dollar bull trade, a US dollar bull trade, right? And how much damage would it do to that overall chart if it went to 140? Not really. It would be a strong trend, but it wouldn't be. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the point of control, right? Somewhere between 140 and 139 is the point of control, right? So why not head that way? Okay, so just have a think about that, folks, when you're thinking about this stuff. If the stock market does decide to turn around, I suspect that the US dollar will also see some kind of rally as well too. Paul, I think I've been talking for a few minutes and I'm probably done, to be honest with you. That's pretty much it for me. I don't have a huge amount to talk about on the macro side at the moment, mainly because I find it all really boring right now, and I haven't got anything I can tell you guys that you don't already know. There wasn't, I read through the Fed statement, and I understand why people are thinking about them tightening, and I get all of that. But crikey, if they do, I don't think they're going to be raising interest rates anytime soon if they stop buying all these bonds.
Sorry, Julian, finish.
Yeah, so with the Fed, they have two monetary policy tools, right? One is the amount of money they're putting into the economy through the QE or whatever you want to call it, the bond buying program, and the second one is interest rates. So tightening together, I think they've learned that lesson that doesn't work very well. They tried that a few years ago. That was a disaster. So they'll either reduce the amount of bonds they buy, or else they will raise interest rates. They won't do both. The market right now is predicting both, which I find utterly insane. But then maybe I'm wrong. I just keep going back to the same old thing again. Look at the level, look at the yield on the 10-year note. It's at what, 135, 138 now? 138 with inflation at 5, right? Somebody's right there. Who's right, the inflation rate or the bond market? My bet's on the bond market. That's it from me, Paul.
Julian, see, this is dollar index chart. They've got dollar index on Fusion now.
Ah, nice.
It does help, eh? So they've got 24-hour crypto, 7 days a week, and they've got dollar index up, which does help as far as a bit of analysis goes, doesn't it? It's interesting to see where that does go. Thank you very much for that, mate. It is certainly a market which is providing some challenges here and there. I think it's just it's one of those things. You look at a share market chart and you just go, well, a stock market chart. Why haven't I made a fortune on an industry chart? And yet it does. You just keep feeling like an end must come. And maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's just going to continue rolling up. And that does look like a dream chart, doesn't it? Cheers, Julian.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your input.
It does, Paul, but not the last month. The last month looks like something else is going on. So, so again, folks, when you're looking at the technicals, Paul, could you just go down to a 4 hourly for me?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, that's fine. So listen, guys, look, key levels are 44.15. It breaks through that. I'm getting a little concerned. And this is on the 4 hourly chart now. Okay, we just go down and look at some technical levels. I don't know if anybody will cover these later on, so I'll just do these. That to me is a worry. It's a bit of a support and a bit of a resistance on the way up and down. It seems to be a point of control. We start to trade below that level 44.15 area. I think I would be concerned. Okay, so bearish below, bullish above for the time being on the 4 hourly chart. So just remember what that is, right? It's a 4 hourly chart. And again, we see that level break. I think I'd be more inclined to think about more short positions. Sorry, I just thought I wanted to point that out to you guys, Paul. That definitely is me done now.
Cheers, actually, Julian, I wanted to just try the daily chart for a second, if you don't mind. One of the things you're talking about, which I really liked, right, is people here keep talking about, are we going to get a lower high? And look, the truth is that at some times in this rally, we have seen lower highs, right? But what we haven't seen is lower lows. Not really. And you comment here that this is the key, the absolute key level, right? We put in a lower low here, and it's a different game. We haven't seen this for some time. We can look for a higher high and a double top and all the rest of it. But you take out that low, it's like Bitcoin. Take out the low, and there's problems. So I thought it was really interesting, Julian. Thank you very much for it, and we'll keep an eye on those 4 hour levels as well. Rightio, so from the macro overview from Julian, thank you very much. I know it's 11:15 at night in New Zealand, so thank you very much for hanging around for sleep. We've got a big day tomorrow, so I really appreciate it. We will shuffle the time next week because of daylight savings when Australia joins us on the daylight savings.